Alexa, what time is it?
Good morning, Wendy. It's 7:37 a.m.
Alexa, what's today's date?
Today is Friday, August 9th.
Alexa, what is today's quote of the day?
Here is your quote for August 9th from Gerald Ford. I've had a lot of experience with people smarter than I am.
Okay. I take that as surrounding yourself with people who are smarter than you, which gives you the opportunity to learn and grow and to do and be better. All right. Today is day 3, y'all, of our Ironborn Challenge. It's leg day. Leg day. So we're going to start off with a warm-up from Heather Robertson. It's an actual leg warm-up. Now, just so y'all know, when I do leg day, it's my favorite day, okay? I love getting the legs right, you know, work your butt, your abs, and all that too with it. I'm always sore for several days after. I know it's very important to loosen up your muscles beforehand, stretch afterwards, even when you're sore, make sure you're stretching. But today, I'm only doing 2 sets, okay? That's what I forgot to get the phone. Hold on. It's right here. All right, 2 sets. Let me pull up the website. I saved it to the home screen so I could easily get to it. And then, again, this is on the Darebee website, Darebee, and it's Ironborn, and it's for muscle definition, because your girl about to be out here like, oh, what's up? Yeah, you know. All right, so again, day 3. I'm gonna jump on here real quick in your face just to show you 4 exercises. Whereas yesterday, remember I did 6. 4 exercises. So we got goblet squats. It goes 12, 10, 10, 8. Then we have forward lunges, 5, 4, 4, 3 on each leg. Then we got the side lunges, 5, 4, 4, 3. Calf raises, 14, 12, 12, 10. All right. But mind you, your girl only doing 2 because I ain't trying to be sore, and I got some stuff coming up and I ain't trying to be sore for it. So anyway, starting off with this warm-up. Well, my girl Heather, I'm doing this because I'm preparing for Heather, because I still have to finish her. Or did I finish it? I want to say I didn't. The second challenge of hers, I'm going to start that over from the beginning.
So all you need to do
it's like 3 months.
We're getting started right now.
Let's go. It's my girl right here. She can get me right. Butt out behind me. She's still doing this? Yeah, she is. But she's coming up though. Mind you, this is the workout I'm gonna be doing today. Part of it. I heard before the best warm-ups are the ones where you're actually doing the moves that you'll be actually doing in the workout. All right, glute bridges. around your knee. You sway. It touches different parts of your leg. This is like a workout. Well, it is a workout. Sorry, Homer, she threw me first one. This threw me off. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. I guess we're gonna try and do it this way. We gotta do it a certain way so my ass don't kick the couch or the wall or something. Look, there's always a way to do something. Y'all better recognize. My girl had to. She's my favorite workout person. Maybe try a chair that don't move. But yeah, Heather is dope. You know, I got my start with Fitness Blender. I like them a lot too. They got a special place in my heart. So crazy is my hamstrings, the lower part of it, is still a little sore from whatever workout I did recently. Working out makes me feel so strong, like mentally, physically. And I be thinking I like suck on my lips. I don't know why. Regular squat, I'm not squeezing at the top or anything. But I'm filling in my hip abductors. All right. Oh, that hurts. That hurts, but sheesh. right.
Okay, guys, you are all warmed up and ready for your leg day workout. If you need a leg day workout that you can do from home, click on the link below in the description.
We're gonna work our way up, back up to you again, Heather. That's what I'm doing now. I'm working my way back to you, babe. Oh, how about yesterday too? I started watching this interview of Sarah Jakes. She had been interviewed by Angie Martinez. And prior to that interview, there was something about Sarah Jakes that I did not really like. I don't know, almost like she came off inauthentic. But that's why it's important to see people in different like interviews and doing different stuff so you can get a better idea. But I liked her based off the interview. It's just probably the sermons that I can't get down with. But anyway, we going back to our thing with John Legend. I'm out of breath. All right. I'm also gonna do these workouts without weights.
And it's not the same kind of love you had when you first met.
For the first round.
When we first met, we were like very attracted to each other. It was our chemistry was great. But that level of attraction is more like infatuation at the beginning.
12 goblets, guys. I am gonna do the weights, sorry.
And love, when it is able to stand the test of time, it has to be deeper and more like more real than that. We've been through enough together where it's like really fortified us and made us stronger, and those tests have made us grow together and you know, realize things about each other that we didn't know. And going through all of that makes you be able to write and sing a song called I Don't Love You Like I Used to. It's different now,
Yeah.
but it's better.
Yeah. I love that song because I felt the same way. I was just like, that is such a great title, because you're like, oh no, what's going on? And then you're like, no, actually it's true.
Yeah.
And I think the challenge with love is that we've been programmed to believe that it should stay the same.
Yeah.
We've been programmed to believe that you should go recreate your first date. And everything should feel like your first date. And it's almost like, well, what if it got better? You know, what if there's more? What were you like when you met Chrissy? And how have you evolved, do you think, as a man, as a human, as a person?
That's
like, what has evolved and grown about you in a positive way?
Well, I think I was more selfish then. Like, I wasn't a great partner at the beginning of our relationship, even though I was very into her and very excited to be with her. Like, I was still selfish. I was in my, mid-20s, still like, not ready
5
to
on each
fully
leg,
be
lunges.
like
I am
the
using
committed
weights.
partner that I am now. But, once you really figure out that you love someone and you really like love so much about them and you really want to make it work with that person, like, you have to decide, like, I'm going to do the things I need to do to be a good partner in this relationship. And I've just grown as a person because of that too, because when you stop being so selfish, when you think about not only the joy you get from a situation and the pleasure you get from it, but also think about your responsibility and your commitment in that situation, I think you just grow and you mature. And that's, I think part of it's just a matter of time. You need time to become that person that you want to be. I think in your mid-20s, you're still dealing with impulse control. You're still dealing with selfishness. You're still figuring out what you want to do in your career. All these things are happening. But
Pause for our break. That is so true. So true, because things change over time, and it's so easy to quit when the going gets rough. So easy. But it's like, is this worth it? And that's the hardest thing that I'm realizing in relationships, is to move past the discomfort, the arguments, and figure out a way to get through it. Especially when that fight or flight mechanism inside of you is wanting you to just, fuck it, throw your hands up and go, or react a certain way. But over time, as you get through these obstacles, like the love, the understanding, all those things just grow. 14 calf raises.
when you figure those things out, you can just be a better person in general. And I think it makes you better at other things too when you're able to understand that balance between what you're trying to get from a relationship, but also what you need to give to make it work.
Yeah. What did you think that you didn't value about her in the beginning, but today, like, you're like, oh, I noticed that more now. Like, I didn't even get that at that time because of my immaturity or earliness.
Well, I feel like I've just learned so much about her personality, how she reacts to stress, how she reacts to life, how she can find a joke even in like the craziest, even in grief, like she's able to find humor. And like, I feel like you see so many things about your partner as you grow together and as you experience adversity together. And what I've seen from her just made me love her more and value her more. Like, I think she's cooler now than I've ever thought she was. Like, I just really
That's dope.
have seen her in.
Are any of
all
y'all in
kinds of
long-term
situations.
committed relationships?
I just value her more.
And if so, you got any like
in awe
tips
of her more than I
for
ever
those
did.
who are
That's beautiful.
single
That's
or
great. I wish the same for my
in
marriage,
relationships
too.
struggling?
I wish it for everyone,
Yeah.
honestly. I love love. I went to 2 weddings this weekend.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
And like I
I
truly
love
like
love too.
I've
been in
when
a
I'm
relationship
at these
for
weddings, like I genuinely get emotional and I genuinely feel like joy
2022.
for this couple in embarking on this journey together. And I love celebrating that. I
So,
love
a little over 2 years.
seeing it flourish and seeing people
Right.
who are committed to each other make it work. Like, I love it.
Yeah. No, me too. I love love too. I've just written a whole new book about love.
Yeah.
It comes out next year.
Follow
But it's like
sports.
I officiated 2
We're
weddings
just
in
gonna
the
wait
last 12
one
months.
second.
And the difference, the pressure and the honor of doing that, my whole thought process in my head is don't cry. Don't cry. Because I love love so much. And all I want to do is like cry and just like appreciate the moment. I'm like,
I haven't had
do
to
not-
officiate
yeah.
any
I
weddings.
was like, do
I've
not
sung
cry.
at quite a few.
Yeah, I can
But,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, I got emotional this weekend, and I think part of it is being a dad too now, because when I watched the bride's dad walk her down the
forgot how many.
aisle, I got super emotional. I was just thinking about my daughter and thinking about my son, and just thinking about, just what it means to pour all this love into these little people, and then to watch them grow up and experience life and find love. It was beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I know you mentioned grief, and then you
For over
the
20
song
years,
Alexa, stop.
Yeah.
There's beautiful lyric.
Alexa,
Let your broken
stop.
heart learn to live.
Alexa, stop.
And I just
She already
I
has
literally
that.
just have to
Alexa,
think about that, because
stop.
I think that there's so much
She was
about
like,
us
"You need to
that's
hear
constantly
this."
trying to get everything to fit,
Mm-hmm.
and even with the heart, we're trying to become whole again. Like there's always that concept, but you're like, let your broken heart learn to live in pieces. Like where did that come from? Like that idea.
The idea of the song is that we never completely shed or forget this trauma that we may go through in life, this loss, this heartbreak. Like, we'll remember it. There'll be times when we'll feel those pangs of memory, and that it'll come back. It doesn't mean you can't heal. It doesn't mean you can't recover, but it does mean that grief will still be a part of who you are, a part of your story. Effectively recovering from that means not forgetting it, not that it didn't happen, but learning to live with it and learning to continue to live with it and experience life and joy and pain and all the things that come in life afterwards. Continue to like live on.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that this grief won't ever leave you completely.
Yeah, it's almost like we're asking the wrong question. We're always like, how do I move on? How do I get over this?
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying,
And
well,
you're saying I'm saying you're gonna carry it. It's part of your life now. It's part of your story, part of who you are. Like I said with Chrissy, like I've seen so much growth through our grief and through our tragedy. It's always gonna be part of who we are, and I'm fine with that. Like it's part of who we are. We carry it with us, and it's okay.
Okay, let me just tell y'all. Yeah, why don't y'all remind me? Point it out. I didn't do the side lunges. I'm like, I'm banging through this workout. So 5 on each side. Let me finish these 12 calf raises. Then I gotta do the side lunges. 12 cat phrases.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for your loss, and you know that. I mean, I don't think there's pretty much anything harder to go through than what you.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been through anything harder, but it just means, you know, when you live long enough, you're gonna go through something like that, and figuring out how to continue to live as you carry that with you is what the song's really about.
Yeah, and often we find that those traumatic and difficult experiences can break people apart, but you focus on growing closer together.
Yeah.
What do you think is that difference? Like your values are so clear. I can tell in this interview, like values of children, of family, of love, of kindness, of connection. Like, how do you, in moments like that, is it that your values just drive you forward, or like how do you make sure? Because I think sometimes people just have experiences that derail their everything else that's going right.
Yeah, and I don't know, because like I think part of it is just we were already on a great foundation where we really respected and loved and enjoyed being with each other, respect each other's values and the ways, you know, the things that we saw in each other's character that we fell in love with were still there. But I think you also have to like commit to working through pain, you know. And I think we both committed to doing it, like doing the work that we needed to do to get through it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to hear that, and you know, my prayers and
thank you.
Wishes are really
Yeah. And I think having already had 2 kids together was definitely helpful, because they just bring so much joy into our lives.
She must have had a miscarriage.
And laughter and fun, and they're a great focus for our energy. And so even when you're going through deep grief on losing a pregnancy, you still have these 2 beautiful babies that you love. And I think that was certainly helpful.
Yeah. Now the questions are moving into a selfish space where I'm asking just for me now. So how have you managed, like, what have, you know, you've obviously had this beautiful relationship, you got 2 beautiful children that you both love. And, you know, when I think about me and my wife, like, we also spend a lot of time saying, look, let's stabilize our relationship first before we think about having kids. Because we don't want to invite beautiful new souls into a relationship where we're not sure where we're going or how
if I could have another, well, I said if I could have another one. If I was younger, I would have had another baby with my boyfriend.
And keep a relationship successful with this. Because
we don't have any kids together, but I would definitely.
Children can be the most stressful time of their life.
I wouldn't even think anything about it. Except for the planning.
First of all, we're very fortunate. We have lots of people around us that help us. We can afford, you know, childcare. We can afford a lot of things that
we're gonna do one more.
That can't afford.
I'll go sign one.
There's no small thing. Like those having help, having a mother-in-law around,
so I can complete, you know, 2 full
grandparents around to help. It's like all these things are very helpful, and they alleviate some of the stress.
4 on each leg now.
Make it easier for parents to balance it. But yeah, I do think you have to be ready to take on that responsibility. I think a lot of times, you know, it's about figuring out, is it the right time in both of your careers to do it? Particularly for the woman, like, it can be very difficult to figure out when that can be, because particularly in America, we don't have a lot of leave that's available for maternal or paternal leave that's available for a lot of families. And there's all kinds of obstacles in the way that make it harder for people to be working parents. And so I think a lot of people are making decisions about when to have kids based on that. And that's a real, like, practical consideration that needs to be figured out.
Remember my last pregnancy.
A lot of the stress around
I had saved
parenting is
for my maternity leave. I did not get paid for it.
And the child care that you need.
Save and use your vacation.
That's not right. It can be stressful. It can be stressful in your marriage. It can be stressful in so many other things. And so, and my prescription that all those things need to be in order is like a hard prescription to fill, though.
Yeah, see me going a little bit lower?
It takes resources. It takes family. It takes, you know, everything being aligned, and everything's not going to be perfect for so many families, and they're still going to want to bring a life into the world, and yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think those things changing. I mean, yeah, when I was born and raised in London, and so when I worked there, like the maternity leave and the paternity leave was fantastic. I mean, it could be even better, but it was great. It was like at least 6 months, and then you could extend for another 6 months if you needed it.
And not to be nerdy, but like these are policy things that can affect people's decisions. And, you know, we're having a lot of conversation
John
around
Legend.
reproductive rights and whether the
Talking.
state can force people to have kids.
Over him a couple
And
times.
what I think our conservative fellow citizens should realize is that people sometimes would like to have kids, but they're not in a place to be able to afford it or take care of it. And so if there are policy solutions like child tax credits, free childcare, that would make it more likely that people would choose to have kids. And I think there's so many families that could use that kind of support. And I feel like one way that we could come together, conservatives and progressives, is say, if you really believe in this idea that families are important as like a foundation for our society.
We're gonna do one more
and
without
you
the
wanna,
weights, all right?
do things to support people having children in their lives and building
And I'm
families.
only doing the show
like one
because
way to do that is make
I'm
sure they have
about
the
to-
resources
I have some things planned coming up, and I ain't trying to be.
to make
It's
that
not an
choice
excuse.
In a way that they can handle it and their family
It's not an
can handle
excuse.
it.
Yeah, is that one of the areas that you've been focused on, as you were speaking about earlier? Has that been an area of focus?
Goblin squats are
Well,
10.
It's something I think about all the time. So I think about it when it comes to our schools, making sure our schools have the resources that they need, making sure our communities have the resources they need. And it's through
All right,
it's
y'all
kind of
got me.
the
I'll do
impetus
3 pound
behind
weights.
My entire political
I hear
kind
y'all
of,
talking.
inclination is how do we make
What
our
was it, babe?
society more livable, more loving, more just, more
I'm trying to get out of
equitable.
The extra 2 is only
And
10.
how do we
I'm like, what is it, 8?
support
No,
folks
Wendy.
who don't have the resources they need right now? How do we make sure they get those resources?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times my work has been about the criminal justice system, but what I like to do is point out the choices that we make around criminal justice and how they are resource choices as well.
They're more interconnected.
Yes, they're
It's
more
not like a
connected
silo,
because
yeah.
because when we spend so much of our societal energy and resources and budgets on policing and locking people up, that necessarily precludes us from investing that money in other things.
Unnecessarily.
And so
You meant to say?
my advocacy work has really been around, let's invest in these things that are edifying, that are building, that are
8.
productive, that are loving, that are just, and not invest as much as we have in the things that are more destructive and more about the state monopolizing force and violence through policing and jailing people.
Yeah. Thank you so much for going nerdy on us. It was good. We had to. No, it's important.
Yeah.
I think it is important to see the interconnectedness of a value of family man, children, and then how that actually scales up to an economy and a society, because we can have these in our small units,
Yeah.
but it needs to change at a.
And I get into arguments, with friends of mine who I'm close with, and they'll see these news stories about crime going up and robberies going up, and they'll always kind of default to, well, we just gotta punish people more, like make them scared to do these kinds of things.
That's not even it at
And
all.
what I'm always thinking about is, well, how
And so, where I could see these different views for people who feel like they're so far away from it. Like usually if you're poor, lower income, living in neighborhoods that aren't that, good, there's higher crime, of course, it's proven. But you emulate what you see around you a lot of the times. Like, so I know people who have been in and out of jail. And they keep doing the same thing because they come back out, they're in the same environments, around the same people, and they don't have the resources or the know-how to change. You know what I mean? People just feel stuck, and I know people could be like, well, all they gotta do is this, or all they gotta do is that. It's not even that easy, I'm telling you. Like, I even know, people struggling with addiction. Their family will be falling apart, but it's hard. I gotta go into rehab and then I'm gonna lose my house. And to us, it's like, well, yeah, go into rehab, lose your house, you can rebuild that. Or do you wanna lose your life? Do you wanna lose your family? You know what I'm saying? It's so much work involved, even more stuff that I don't even know. Sometimes it seems so easy, like, yeah, just do this. It's not that fucking easy for a lot of people. And especially people who are conditioned to think and act a certain way with deep-seated trauma, that requires a whole other type of attack. You know what I mean? Whew. And when I say a whole other attack to that problem, like a different way to approach that, that's just something else added on to the other stuff. You gotta go to the root, and it takes time. Like, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like, for someone to be in a leadership position, responsible for all the citizens in their city, their state, the country, that is a humongous role and responsibility, because there's so many things to consider and to think about, and then the funds that come in, where are we going to allocate them? Because if you give some to Peter, you got to rob Paul. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I feel for them. All right, so I digress. Did I just do, something is going on with my memory, y'all. I can't remember stuff. I hope these aren't precursors to Alzheimer's. I always thought that before, but I'm gonna stop thinking that, because I don't want to bring that into fruition. Okay. I feel like I just did these. So we're gonna do the side lunges 4.
Create a society where just less of that is happening. How do we create a society where people are healthier, they have the resources they need, they're not
like this,
homeless, they're not addicted to drugs, and when they are, they're being treated and not punished? Like, how do we create a society like that? And then a lot of these issues with violence and with property crimes and all these other things, they'll go down if we're investing in the kind of preventative measures that would make us healthier in general.
Yeah, absolutely. You were speaking about,
because
the journeys of people, like, from everyone that you were homeschooled around.
Because taking the other side, like, people like, they increase the penalties if you do crimes and stuff like that. This is just me thinking about it, like, the person will be like, well, I'm just trying to do it better next time, not to get caught. Because the root of the issue isn't being worked on. Like, their thinking, their habits and stuff like that, the deep-seated trauma, like shit like that. All right, yeah, here we go.
In your community, like, the journey that you've taken is, I'm guessing, obviously, that's very unique. It's very different. When you look back on your life now, it's like, what's there, like, what keeps you going? Or when you look back, what do you look back at and go, that was really special, that was beautiful, and that was something that I always cherish?
What keeps me going? Well, part of it is just the joy I get from creating new things. It's a very, like, amazing sense of gratification that you get when you walk into a room and nothing exists except, loose ideas in your head. And then a few hours later, like, you walk out with this new thing that exists. It's a song. And
12 Caffreys.
That song could be the one that changes your life. It could mean something to all kinds of other people. I just, at the wedding I went to, one of the weddings I went to this weekend, some guy said, I went to your show and it actually saved my marriage.
Wow.
And, like, I could be writing that song that saves someone's marriage tomorrow. And the fact that I get to go to work and create something brand new that didn't exist before is such a joy. And I truly, like, I want to do it all the time. That keeps me going.
Yeah.
And then
That's
being
dope,
on
huh?
stage is really exciting for me and fun. I love the connection I feel with the audience. I love when the show just feels like everybody's clicking on all cylinders. We're doing this together. We've got band members, dancers, singers. Everybody came together to put the show on, and we get it right, and we feel the energy from the crowd, and we feel the love
Dope,
from the
huh?
crowd, and we're giving it to them. They're giving it back, and we feel this connection and this chemistry, this energy that we're all creating together.
That's super dope, huh? You guys ever feel that? When you're in an event, like, you feel the positivity, the energy. We'll say, for example, like church. You ever go to church and you just feel that, the blessing of the Holy Spirit,